I was born and grew up in St. Petersburg, which used to be called Leningrad at the time, in the middle of the Cold War and in the latter days of the Soviet Empire. So it was a pretty stern, beautiful but stern place to be growing up in. And like many other kids, I was constantly in a constant state of fear that the Americans were going to nuke us, or simply to get beat up by kids who thought I was different. So I was living in that state pretty much the whole time, and I thought that was a normal thing to do. Until the day I heard the cello. I was 6 years, it was my 6th birthday, and one of the relatives, one of the family members, gave me as a present a record of cello music. What an odd present to give to a 6-year-old, I thought. Everybody's listening to Bonnie M and ABBA. I just dated myself. And what's up with this guy leaning over his giant violin? Well, I put it on, and something happened. Suddenly, all of the fairy tales, every children's story and poem that I've ever read came to life. I got completely transported to a new place, a place I've never been before, a place where there was no fear or anguish, a place where kids were allowed to be happy. So the very first piece that we're going to play for you, we're going to take you with us on a journey to an imaginary country. It's located somewhere between France and Spain, maybe borders Andorra and Catalonia, but it's even smaller than Andorra, and it's populated with these really kind and romantic people, the kindest and most romantic people on the whole earth.
That was Maurice Ravel's Habanera. Beautiful piece. You know, I have to confess something. While I was looking at my partner here, I kind of had a few glimpses at you, and I was just amazed, like, how you were having this very intimate and personal moments with the music. It was awesome to see that. For me, music is very personal matter. Interpreting the works of the great masters is such a special thing for me. It just keeps me in direct connection with some of the brightest minds of our civilization, which can be a very intimidating thing. But at the same time, it really allows me to communicate with so many people on a very personal level, and I really much appreciate that. I really feel very excited to be able to pick up a brain of a genius, or to be able to reach to someone in the dark hall, or to work with a talented colleague of mine with whom I click. And there is nothing else that gives me more thrills than letting my spirit soar through the music. Through music, I've met some quite remarkable people. One of them was my professor at the Bulgarian Conservatory. I think I was only 14 when I first met him. And he was a fantastic pianist, so I was totally smitten by him. And I was thrilled beyond imagination when he accepted me in his private studio. So for years, every other Saturday, I would wake up at 4 o'clock and take a 4-hour train journey across the country to go play for him, and then come back with a night train. And it was really tough, but it was really very rewarding thing for me, because the lessons he taught me, I still use them, not only as a musician, but also as a person. He really taught me to respect the work of a composer, and I think in those formative years, learning about respect was a very big lesson. I learned how to really, truly listen to the composer and what he has to say, and I think I'm a very good listener in real life. And I also learned how to search for beauty and appreciate it, and that makes my life very joyous. And really to search for meaning in order to shape my own interpretations, and I've been searching for the meaning of life and everything ever since. So the next piece we're going to be playing for you is one of my favorites, and when we first met with Ian last year, that was actually the first piece he suggested we do together, and for me it was a peculiar kind of feeling of homecoming, because that was one of my favorite pieces my piano professor did when I studied with him, and I hope that you will fall in love with that piece the way I did when I first heard it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the most rewarding things about being an artist is being able to hear the testimonies of people that come up to us after the performances and say things like, I've been feeling really sad lately, but through your music I've been able to find comfort. Or I used to play cello in high school, and I haven't touched it in 20 years, but your music has inspired me to pick it up again. Or I was sitting next to my wife at your performance, and I felt compelled to just tell her how much I loved her. Things like that. And another thing that makes us really brings a lot of joy to our artistic lives is being able to collaborate with other artists who create their own magic and take us places with them. And tonight, we have a very special surprise for you. Last spring, Ani and I did a production at Chopin Theater in Chicago that involved our own original music, live dance, and visual art. It sold out for many nights, and one of the reasons was because we had these tremendously gifted guest artists with us, and we would like to invite them to join us for our last piece. We'd like to invite our dear friends and colleagues from the Joffrey Ballet of Chicago, Zimmerman and Lucas Segovia. And we're going to perform for you a piece called Horacero Buenos Aires by legendary Argentinian composer Astor Piazzolla.
Thank you.